in your class, busy listening to your professor while explaining the activity of the fashion designer students will participate in. Since the Centennial Day of the university is approaching, your professor wants to launch a campaign so that you students can make money, and the campaign money will be used to buy materials. All fashion designer students need to join. What you will do is make your own clothes and sell them during Centennial Day. But you need a model to wear your work. Girl should be the model of boys student and guy for the girl student. So obviously, you're making men's clothes and that's the biggest challenge there because you're more used to making women's clothes. And also, you need to get a sexy or handsome model to make sure that the clothes you make will be sold. Your professor asks for help to the cheering team to be the model for the boy students and basketball players for the girls students to be their model. But you yourself ask them to be your model. After agreeing on the plan, your professor left immediately. But before he left, he said, you only have 2 weeks to make the clothes that will sell. So you should be able to choose your model as soon as possible. After your professor left, you wonder why the girls who were your classmates were disappearing one by one. Kate, who will you choose to be your model? You ask. Who else? None other than Jimin, she replied. Until Kate thought of going to the basketball team locker room immediately to ask Jimin before she was preceded by someone else. She immediately stood up and told you. Before you get to the locker room, you meet Jimin and he happily approached Kate. What took you so long? Don't tell me I'm not the one you want to be your model? He asked and placed his arms on Kate's shoulder. That's why I'm here to ask you. Be thankful that you are my best friend, because if not, I'll be a model to the others, not for you. While they were talking, you noticed that one by one, your classmates came out from the locker room. YN, did you get a model? Not yet. Well, there is one more person available. Who? Jungkook, he replied. You just swallowed your own saliva when you heard that name. Jungkook, the basketball captain? Exactly, he said. It's like your world has collapsed because Jungkook is known to be a brave and has an anger issue. He gets mad easily and nothing can stop him. Then you realize that's why your classmates rushed out earlier to ask the other players just to avoid Jungkook. It means he is the only one available to all the basketball players? Hmm? Kate, can we switch? Jimin as my model, and you'll be the one who asks Jungkook to be your model. I'm sorry, YN. I'm afraid of that man. YN, just go and ask him. Don't worry, he's nice. If you get to know him, you realize he's not a bad person. Whether you believe Jimin or not, you have no other choice. If you only had known, you would have run earlier to ask other players to avoid him. You slowly enter the room while calling all the saints to guide you from the dragon. You automatically see him sitting in the corner while doing something. He is the only person inside the locker room. You knock the door, so he noticed you. Chogyo, you said. But he ignored you, so you spoke again. Chogyo! This time he heard you as he raised his head. Are you talking to me? He asked. You wanted to answer him. Obviously, since we're only one here, it's impossible that I'm talking to the wall. But you thought he might get angry with you. By the way, I'm Lee YN, a fashion designer student. I'm here to ask you if You can be my... But he cut your words and said, to be your model? I think this person is crazy. He will be the one who asked, but he was the only one to answer too. Be honest. Are you here because you want me to be your model? Or you are just forced because you have no choice? You stop and think. Well, it's better to tell the truth than to lie. Apparently, I just forced myself because I have no choice. Only you are available. All my classmates, they don't want you as their model because they are afraid of you because of your tendency to get angry easily and your anger issue. He furrowed his brows and threw you a death glare. Oh no, you said, as you slowly step back because you know Jungkook would explode anytime. Never mind, it's okay for me to fail in my class. As you turn your back on him and about to run, but suddenly you felt someone grab your clothes from behind, so you couldn't run. Where are you going? You said you want me to be your model. Then explain to me, what should I do? He said. You quickly face him and say, so you will agree? He looked at you and answered, do I have a choice? I still have a conscience if you failed your class because of me. Thank you. Can you come to the designer room tomorrow at 4 p.m. so I can take your measurements and you can choose from my designs what you want to wear? As you saw him signing and look angry again. Okay. I'll just come here after your practice tomorrow. I'll just go tomorrow, but around 5 to 5:30. Is that okay with you? Sure, I'll wait for you. Thank you again. You said and smiled at him. You said to him that you needed to leave as you walked to the door, but before you reached the door, he spoke. DYN, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Jungkook. When you came out of the locker room, your knees suddenly went weak. Friend, are you okay? Kate asked for helping you to walk. I'm still alive, right? You're still breathing. So, how is it? I'm glad you agree without throwing me to Mars. Next day, you're the only one left in the designer room since it was already 5:40. All your classmates already went home except for you because you're waiting for Jungkook to come. And since you was bored waiting for him, you didn't realize that you fell asleep. Until you heard a knock on the desk you were resting your head on. You slowly open your eyes and look up. To your surprise, after seeing Jungkook, you suddenly stood up. I'm sorry, I fell asleep. It's okay. You took your portfolio with your designs and gave it to him. As you offered him a chair, he sat down and looked at your work one by one. Wow, not bad. You really should be a fashion designer because you have a good taste. In general, his words make you flatter. I like this one. It's simple, but I'm sure this design will grab everyone's attention. Are you sure? You still have time to change your decision. I'm sure. I like this one. You didn't mean to touch Jungkook's hand and pulled him in the middle to take his measurements until you noticed that he was looking at your hand while holding his hand. In your shock at what you did, you immediately let go of his hand and say sorry. Why you keep saying sorry? Never mind, do what you need to do. You took your measurements, a notebook, and a pencil. But before you started to take his measurement, You took something first and took off the wrap on it. Open your mouth. Why? Will you measure the size of my mouth? Just open your mouth. The moment Jungkook opened his mouth, you immediately put the lollipop in his mouth and give him the bottle of water. If you ever get mad at me, just bite the lollipop and drink some water. He just laughed instead and flicked your forehead. Don't worry, I'm in a good mood now. You start measuring his neck, so you stand in front of him. When you two suddenly look at each other, you quickly look down and wrote down his measurements. Next, you measure the widest part of his chest, which made your heart beat even more because you felt it's really solid. Next to his hips, you stand behind him as you wrap around the tape measure on his hips. As you notice that everywhere you go, he looks at you that makes you blush. Why is your face so red? Don't tell me you are shy of me. Of course not. The thing is, I'm just scared of you. Don't worry, I have no intention of biting you. He giggles. You just stared at him and remember what Jimin said. That if you know him, you would say Jungkook is a nice person. Jungkook, I know we're not close, but can I ask you a personal question? What is it? Why did you have an anger issue? I mean, how did you get it? Mostly, I heard people had that kind of problem. They suffered from traumatic event, something like that. As you heard him laugh, why? Are you worried about me? No, I mean, maybe I can help you with something, you replied. Then, can I share you a secret? You didn't answer. You just nod. I don't really have an anger issue. Yes, I get angry easily, maybe because of the pressure of being team captain. You were surprised by what you heard and suddenly got confused. Then why does the whole university know for having that issue? I don't like it when a lot of girls approach me. And so that my members get afraid of me, so I asked Jimin to spread that news. What? So it's all a fake news? You said in a loud voice. Jungkook immediately covered your mouth with his hand and said, it's our secret. Only Jimin, you, and Coach know the truth. But you didn't believe him, so you bite his hand and waited for him to get angry with you. But he just removed his hand and stepped backwards. Yeah, why did you do that? He asked while groaning in pain. So it's true. You don't have an anger issue. As you laughed like a maniac. Are we done? It's getting late. We need to go home. Yes, we're done. I will call you if ever I need you. And for the final fitting, thank you again. You return the things you use and took your bag to leave, but you flinched after you saw Jungkook leaning on the door while watching you. Gosh, I thought you already left. It's late. I'll take you home. No, I'm fine. I'll just take a bath. But Jungkook held your hand instead and pulled you. Next day, while training, Jimin noticed Jungkook just sitting in the corner while smiling and looking at his hand. It bothered him, so he approached the Jungkook. What are you smiling about? Jungkook raised his hand and showed his bite mark. Look, why didn't bite me yesterday? What? She bite you but you managed to smile? That girl is so funny. Obviously, she's afraid of me, but she still managed to convince me to be her model. Wait, you hate girls, right? But why it seems you are happy that you became YN's model? I don't know, but I'm excited to know why I was happy when I was with her. The days passed. You always got surprised because he suddenly show up in your class, watching you sewing, and always take you home. Be with him for a week. You prove to yourself that Jungkook is a kind person. Centennial Day. Everyone is busy in their models, and you are one of them. Without you knowing, Jungkook noticed something. Why and why do the others put makeup on their models as if they are going to do a fashion show? You give him a fake smile and say, "You are right, a fashion show." The plan was changed. To get more attention, the models need to ramp up what they are wearing. Sorry, I didn't inform you. He raises his eyebrows and stares at you. For real? He asked. All the students backstage were looking at you because they know Jungkook wouldn't agree and they expecting that he would be angry. Yes, for real, you replied. Okay, be thankful that I love you, otherwise I won't agree. Everyone got shocked at Jungkook's sudden confession in front of many people, including you. Stop joking, they might believe you. I'm not joking, I'm serious. I like you. I mean, I love you. He said that and doesn't care about their surroundings. You just stand because you're really surprised and a little scared because you know that many women like him, but they're just afraid of approaching him. Jungkook, stop pranking me. You might regret it if I answer you yes. Since you already said yes, so it means starting today, we're dating. As you realize that everything was true. The end. Thank you for watching Kubi.